Yeah, hi everyone. So today it's another evening we have gathered here, and today we are going to discuss about a nostalgic memories. It may be any kind of thing. It may be a movie. It may be a story which you have come across. So I am Vallabh, and I have with me Saurabh, Julian, Tanushri, Sneha, and Abhishek. So Ashish, yeah, and I would like to pass on the mic to Saurabh.
Yeah, thank you, Vallabh. We have basically gathered here on behalf of Thinking, and since we keep coming to the Congress every Sunday evening uh, to discuss something. Uh, so basically, Julian just came up with this thought since we were talking a bit of Shaktiman and those early childhood TV show that used to that got broadcasted back then. So he just came up with this thought that we could discuss nostalgia for a podcast episode this evening. So I mean, like, if I have to talk about nostalgia, Shaktiman, yes, since we spoke about Shaktiman, and that it kind of it's right now stuck in my head. So since I remember, Shaktiman used to get broadcasted on Sunday 12 o'clock afternoons is what I remember. So I remember my Sundays growing up. There used to be, I mean, like back then, a lot of us didn't have cable TVs, right? Like I am someone who was born in the early 90s. Uh, and since we people who were growing up in the early 90s, the liberalization and privatization was, the economy just had just gotten liberalized. And since we have an interruption of train going in the background, and since we have to adjust and yeah, I mean, like, since we discussed this in a public park, and it's quite obvious that we'll have this uh, disturbance once in a while, and it's okay. The train and birds and everything. I mean, like, we enjoy the train sound, right? Anyways, yeah, it's nostalgic. I remember waiting for a train to pass the gates, and like I was so excited to see this train passing by. I must have been in what, third standard, fourth, second standard maybe. Anyways, so I remember my Sunday mornings. There used to be this Rangoli program, if I'm not wrong, or Chitrahar Rangoli program. Hema Malini used to host that program, and she used to come up with top 10 countdown or something, if I'm not wrong. She used to read those letters that were posted to Rangoli, and she used to like get farmaishe from the request from the uh, viewers of DD1. Back then, we didn't have cable TV, a lot of us, and most of us did watch DD1. And since it was a very recently liberalized economy, other channels like Z News, Z and Star Plus were coming up, but most of us couldn't afford a cable connection. So DD1 is what we all watched. I remember fixing the antenna, and since the antenna connection was weak at times, I remember we bought boosters. There was a booster device that would boost the signal, and yeah, Rangoli. Then after Rangoli, I don't remember much, but if I'm not wrong, there used to be a Tarang show which was for kids. It was basically a part of education curriculum on the behalf of government, broadcasted for young children who used to watch TV on Sunday mornings, which I'm very sure no one watches today. All they watch is OTT content, even or YouTube. I've seen kids as young as one holding mobile phones. I mean, like, I can't really blame them. But then we were quite fortunate that we watched these kind of programs that were broadcasted on DD1 back then, in the early late 90s, early 90s. So I don't remember much because I was only 4 or 5. But that after Tarang, I remember mostly I was out playing cricket, and we used to all come back after playing cricket because we had to watch Shaktiman at 12 o'clock, and we couldn't miss watching Shaktiman. And it used to be a 1 hour show initially. Afterwards, they made it a 30-minute show. And the very first episode, I don't remember much, but I remember watching Kilvish, Andhera Kayam Rahe, and all. And then there was this episode in which uh, there were aliens, and there was this uh, sadhu looking kind of a guy. Like he looked like Ramdev Swami or something like that. And I don't remember much. Uh, but there was this. I mean, like you do. Do you remember these episodes of Shaktiman? There was this episode in which Yogi kind of a guy used to fight him. I don't remember the name. He was like long hair, long beard, and huh? No, not Betal. Vikram Betal is Julian. You that's your nostalgia. Vikram Betal, I didn't. I no, not so much. Not so much. No, 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 no. Wait. You. So I'm like. So I mean, like, I want to pass the mic to people because suddenly people are, so much of memories are coming to them and they want to like, discuss the same thing. So I'm passing the mic to Sneha.
Yeah, hi, good evening. It's me Sneha here. Actually, as Saurabh was speaking, we just brought in our thoughts inside. And then what I was telling is, what is a very memorable nostalgia for Saurabh is very vague in my mind. I can't actually remember the episodes of Shaktiman. But what I remember is, I was a kid of
No, I remember them because I rewatched it with my brother.
okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing that because your brother was interested in it. It's the other way around at my house because my sister always watched Motu Patlu, then what's that? Doraemon. So yeah, Chota Beam. Chota. Yeah, yeah. Me and my sister share a age gap of 13 years. So her interests are too different, but then not that I'm complaining. I even enjoyed watching Motu Patlu with her. I used to laugh a lot. I think those were the moments of my teens where I laughed the most. Seeing how she's enjoying them actually. Not the joke of the cartoon. How she enjoys them. That's what mesmerized me. So, yeah. Because for me, it's a very vague memory of Shaktiman. What I can remember mostly is me totally believing that there was a person so and so as Shaktiman. He really existed. I mean, that same human that is shown in the serial. I somehow thought, I was 100% sure that that person exists and he is Shaktiman. He has those wonderful powers and I'm going to meet him one day. He will rescue if something goes wrong with me. If someone kidnaps me, he is going to rescue me. So, blindly believing him. So, how innocent were those years of life? Now, even if it is really happening right in front of my eye, I will get back for a moment, think twice, thrice, only then I will dare to believe in things. So, how innocent were we then? So, anyone wants to talk and anyone wants any?
Hi, I'm Tanushri. I am the new joinee to this group. So, by nostalgia, of course, one is cartoon, and for me, most nostalgic memory is my father. Like he is a very good storyteller because he was a professor in English. So for me, it is my most childhood is like he was the best entertainer. Like even for me and my brother, he used to enact stories like complete stories. He used to stand, he used to like even the every act of it, every story, like even if he tells it 1,000 times again, it used to be new to me. So it is like for me the power of imagination is put by my father. So like he is that like for me nostalgia is my father. And his stories, like everything what he tells in classrooms, he used to first enact for me, I guess. I don't know. Like, and he is a very he reads literature. Like because he is a English professor, he is lot into literature. So all those stories he used to put in my head, my brother's head. Me and my brother have a 8 years age gap. The only difference is I used to listen to the same stories again. He used to say, this is already told, don't say it again. So that is one thing. And then of course cartoons. Mr. Bean, our entire family, we used to sit and watch. That was one thing. And even I don't know how many of you remember this. The 10 o'clock show Takis Casual. That we used to watch it with so much craze. Like who is going? That was like the first reality show we watched with full. Yeah, I am 2001 born. So for me, this is what all nostalgic is. And of course, school days, friends. all that is there.
When I think about nostalgia, I remember Mowgli. Was my favorite, and Art, the scary program. My parents used to sometimes not allow us to watch Art because we'll get up in the night and say we're not getting sleep and all that. So Mowgli was my favorite, and Shaktiman not so much. I don't know why, but my friends were mesmerized with Shaktiman. And then we used to play cricket when we were in third standard, fourth standard. Go on our cycles in the afternoons during vacation, and that's it. Nothing. Yeah, I'm very senior here. I'm born in 1986, so I'm 37 now, and so I'm after Saurabh. I'm even most senior to Saurabh as of now among the members of the group. Among the members of the group, I am the oldest. I'll pass the mic to Vallabh.
So yeah, I just recollected like my nostalgic memories. So one of them was I used to like watch very curiously Power Rangers, if you remember. So Power Rangers, and apart from that, like we used to have a black and white TV earlier, and later we got a color TV. And in black and white TV, there used to be this DD Chandan channel, and in that, like on every Sunday at 10 a.m., there used to be a show which was hosted by Tabassum anchor, if you know. So she used to tell stories like short stories of like a half an hour with like animated pictures, and I used to be very excited to just wake up and just watch those stories. Yeah, this is early 2010s. And also, like I remember going to this. Also, I remember this moment where we used to go to a nearby neighbor's house, and we did not have the Pogo channel which we wanted, Pogo and Cartoon Network mainly, and there I used to watch Ben 10 and Tom and Jerry series mainly. And yeah, my mom used to like scold me, why why do you go out like so long? You should come back early and all. But I like just went there for the sake of watching it, and yeah, I would spend my time watching that. Yeah, those were my days.
Yeah, talking about nostalgia, the one thing that I can never forget is, and it's a little sad that we cannot buy those things. You remember 50 paisa and 1 rupee ka Pepsi used to get? Oh my god. I grew up sucking on those Pepsi and playing cricket. And like I used to tear it off from one side, and there's orange flavor, Fanta flavor, lassi flavor, Limca flavor. So many flavors. Yeah, cool. So long pencils, so long pens. I mean, like it's flavored ice. Pepsi, we used to. No, we are not from Bangalore, so we were not so fancy with the words. No. Acha, you also call it Pepsi during your child. I don't know if it's called a Pops.
Yeah, now they call those Pepsi wala ice, the flavored ice within a small packet. They call it popsicles. So when a few days back, I had been to a shop in Belgaum itself, and I asked him, "Do you have that 5 rupees Pepsi?" Because I was feeling very hot and I needed something. And then he's looking at me in a very weird way. He makes that face, and then he's like, "You tell me how it looks." Then when I explained him, he said, "Ah, popsicle." I was like, okay, not just in Bangalore, even Belgaum is moving ahead.
The popsicle sounds a little too fancy. Yeah, the Pepsi was the best word we used. I mean, it's like appropriating another brand altogether. But then Pepsi was very much apt. It's very difficult for me to, even digest that thing. It's called popsicle. Yes, I mean, like it's 30 years now that we got liberalized and more of the West is in India already. So I understand. But Yeah, I mean, like, apart from that, I have so many other memories. I'm sitting with Ashish right now, who is my childhood friend, and I remember going to the swimming pool. And it's a little illegal to discuss this, but we traveled in a car back then, and my friend drove it, and he was also in 7th standard. I was in 8th, I guess, and 6 or like very very young, and he used to drive a car around. And that swimming pool wasn't that far away. I mean, it was like not even a kilometer away from his house. So I remember driving around in his car in a Premier NE, if I'm not wrong. And we used to visit Hindu Social Club. It's a good advertisement for the swimming pool that we are doing now. Eh, yeah, yeah. Like it was 10 rupees an hour or something, or maybe 30 rupees. You speak on the mic. I'll give you the mic. So it's renovated now, and it's that we visited it recently, and we do plan going there again. But then that was one of the funny memories that I have. And Ashish's dad also owned a Sunny. It's a moped. I don't know which brand it was, which company it belonged to, but I remember going at least 4 to 5 kids on a Sunny. I mean, obviously it was illegal back then, but then we used to travel in the same. I like we were like so stupid, and I remember sitting on this bike and going to the swimming pool. I mean, like very good memories. We also played indoor cricket in the compound of Ashish. Do you remember that, Ashish? If you can remember and share.
especially game Prince of Persia and Matena? No, Prince of Persia. Need for NFS. Do you know in मन्याक नहीं बैठता नहीं घर में नहीं I will speak in Kannada. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. First I will introduce my birth. In Kannada only I will start. Okay. ನಾನು 1990 ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ 24 ಬೆಳಗಾಂನಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಪೈಲ ಶಾಪೂರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಿದ್ವು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಆಡೋದಂದ್ರೆ ಲಪಂಡ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಹಾಂ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋ ಲಗೋರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ಮಿಂಟನ್ ಇದಾನೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಯೂನೋ and watching serials like Shakalaka Boom Boom and cartoons Scooby Doo, Mickey Mouse, and Tom and Jerry, and Saturday Sunday Ramayana and Mahabharata, and some matena normal.
Yeah, since you reminded me of Shakalaka Boom Boom pencil. I was literally obsessed with that pencil, and I really wished and prayed for owning such a pencil wherein I could draw burgers and pizzas and Pepsis and a gear cycle. Back then, I was very much obsessed with a gear cycle, and my friends did own a gear cycle, and I wanted a gear cycle. And I remember Sanju is the kid in the series who could draw anything and bloody bring anything to life. And I was so obsessed. I mean, like, I was obsessed with this pencil at least till sixth standard. Sixth standard. Yeah, if I have this pencil, I'll. And the other thing that I was obsessed with growing up was Spider Man. I always wished a spider could bite me somewhere and I could turn into a Spider Man. And I remember you telling that you were hoping for a Shaktiman to come out of nowhere. I was hoping for me to become a Spider Man. Saurabh Parkar is what Pallab is saying. And I really wished for a spider to bite me and my cousin Rahul. Yeah, I don't know if he'll listen to this, but we were pretty. No. Like, like in the movie, it bites him in a out of nowhere, right? So I was like always hoping inside me secretly, even in 8th standard, if I remember, which was quite old. Then I wanted to become Spider Man, and then uh, I don't know. It was a little stupid, but then that was there. I mean, like, I was very much obsessed with Spider Man. I remember drawing his mask. I also remember that I wanted to buy the Spider Man's costume. And during Holi, we used to buy these masks. And I remember buying most of the times a Spider Man ka mask while playing Holi during, school days and all. So, yeah, that nostalgia you reminded me. You want to share something else, Ashish?
My name is Abhishek, and my nostalgic moment. I got up so much when Vallabh shared about cartoons. I got a bit of Pokemon and Ben 10 and Blade. Blade. I was so obsessed with that. Ah, yo-yo. Yes. Yeah, yo-yo. They will flick it and throw it out of the window. And I was so obsessed with that Blade. I was bringing and I was playing with it. I was literally thinking something will come out of that. Let it come, let it come. I'm not spinning properly. I was feeling all that. And yeah, Blade. Yeah, watched it. Okay. You can get on YouTube, I think so. You'll get an idea. You'll get an idea what is that series actually. And I was very obsessed with Pokemon. And I wanted some power. I was digging in the mud. And I'll find something inside the earth so I can get powerful. All that was childish. Oh, yeah. That was good actually. Good memories.
You were a child then.
Yeah. That was good memories. Yeah, I enjoyed that cartoons and Blades and all. I was very. Yeah, I was born in 1994 and I used to love watching cartoons. Mainly Tom and Jerry, Ben 10, Blade, and Pokemon. Pokemon and Power Rangers. Yeah, that is obvious. It was like a reality. Something is there, it will come, and we also will become Power Rangers and we can fight. It's like reality. Cartoons was simply on the page like that. I was watching with my mother and I was teasing. I was teasing her. Now she'll take the plate, no? After the week, she'll keep.
You wouldn't allow her to watch it. That's the
No, I was teasing her. I was teasing a lot.
Are we continuing this? You'll put it, you'll edit it something. Yeah.
I will end it.
No.
I want to talk about
N-
Parth. I have a nostalgic memory of Parth.
No. Since he was talking about Ahad, Julian was talking about Ahad. I remember Shh Koi Hai was a competitor to Ahad. I mean, they started with that notion, is what I understand. And there was this Aap Beeti in DD1. I have watched it a lot as on DD1. Aap Beeti. But then Shh Koi Hai, the early few episodes were very scary and very good, you know. But what happened eventually is they transformed that Shh Koi Hai to something that was inspired by Goosebumps, if I'm not wrong. Vikral Gabral. I'm not sure if you have watched Vikral Gabral. You have watched Vikral Gabral, right? I mean, there was this Vikral guy. I mean, this actor. He died recently. Unfortunately, I'm not able to remember his name. The curly guy who was there in that movie, uh, that Pehla Nasha song. Which movie? Amir Khan's. Yeah, he's a cyclist who is very good. I mean, like, I'm not able to recall the movie name. So, anyways, have you not watched these Vikral Gabral episodes? Have you? You have, right? And they bloody made it from a scary show. It became very comical to watch the scary. It was supposed to be a horror story show, and it became a very comical thing. I remember he used to carry those empty vials or bottles with him. He could just open that bottle, and the ghost would just get inside that bottle, and he would bottle them away and stack them in his office. Or so. He had an office as a ghost catcher, and his assistant was that Gabral, who was a Doff guy, and it was quite funny. And I enjoyed. I remember watching them a lot, and it used to be a scary horror show initially, but it became a very comical show, and that's what I remember. But yes, apart from that, Sonpari is also something which I've watched a lot. I'm not sure if you guys have watched Sonpari. I remember Ittu Bittu Jimpatut. I mean, like, she was an angel who used to look after Fruity, who is the protagonist in the serial, which used to come on Star Plus. And I remember watching all those Saas Bahu shows with my mother as well. You know, Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi and Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki. And then eventually I remember also watching Kahin Kisi Rose. I mean, like, I was growing. I must have been in fifth or sixth standard back then, and my mother used to. I mean, like, I'm sure almost all mothers who understood Hindi did watch those shows, and they kind of enjoyed. I mean, like, it's very sexist to put it that way that mothers watched it, but then I mean, like that was how it was back then. Since I have a younger brother who is quite younger to me, he's just 20. He's just 20 now, and I see that they've not watched these TV shows or the cinema, that kind of cinema that we watch, which more often than not had a moral message to give. If I'm not wrong, every movie or every TV series was strongly, there was not an anti-hero that was like, the anti-heroes became popular after Bazigar, if I'm not wrong. Bazigar was that one movie wherein Shah Rukh Khan played this epic role of, I don't remember the character name now, but then he kind of pushes off Shilpa Shetty from the top. No, anyways, that was an anti-hero. No, it is an anti-hero which started, and I guess a lot of anti-heroes content coming up these days. But since the content that we watched was full of morality, and even Ramayana or Mahabharata that we watched was all about a triumph of good over evil. That's why I understand that my morality and my understanding of a few things that happen in society are rooted in righteousness, if I have to put it that way, which I see is not really prevalent these days. Uh, the, the the approach, the thought process of the young towards a lot of things is, I mean, like, 180 degrees change has come. I mean, like, it's exactly opposite. I mean, like, there's a lot of contrast, is what I can see. So, even the OTT culture that is there and a lot of content that gets created is more of what happens in the society, and it's a mirror of what happens in the society. And what happens in the society is more towards the anti-hero or negative side of the society, and it's okay. But then, I guess watching Shaktiman or watching even Tom and Jerry, or even Tom and Jerry is quite philosophical. If you can discuss that, I'm sure Julian must have something. I mean, like, I don't know, because you see, Tom is the one who is always troubling Jerry. But if you actually understand, Jerry is the troublesome fellow in that, and he's the one who is coming cooking all these stories to trouble Tom, and it's very cute. Put it. Yeah, you can share. Tanushri, you want to share?
The other day I was looking into something and it was like, it was not a fight between Tom and Jerry. It is always like Jerry was the troublesome, as you said, and Tom was making it more obvious that he is troubling him so that no other Tom comes and kills it. So it's just like that. Yeah. Not possessive, like he didn't want that the Jerry to be killed by some Tom, because it is, yeah, we have always some other cat, yeah. So it was always like he was being protective by troubling him, something like that. And Tom and Jerry is something evergreen. I still watch it.
But please, any of you don't follow this method of being possessive through being troublesome. Please don't do that. People will run away from you. If you keep troubling being possessive, finally one day they'll be fed up of you. And be cutely possessive. It's good, all of you, girls, boys, everyone. But please don't trouble in the name of possessiveness. So, yeah. Yeah. Don't be the actual Tom.
I mean, like, that's all I had to add. I mean, there's only so much you can discuss when you are sitting together and you have paucity of time is the right word, if I'm not wrong. But then, yes, Sneha wants to add something to conclude the episode. If you're still listening to this, thank you for listening to us, and I'm passing the mic to Sneha.
Yeah, coming to the last conclusion part of the today's thinking meet. So, as I very first came to this park, it was one evening like this, thinking the very first one. I think the very starting ones. That itself was nostalgic for me, because coming to a place like this and then looking around, seeing these kids playing around, seeing the parents bring them to the park. I remember back then my both the parents were working and Sunday was the only time they had. But then they somehow made time. I don't know, for themselves to enjoy it, or they wanted me to enjoy the outside environment. We had a very good park in the place where I stayed, Whitefield. The people, if you are in Whitefield, I am very sure that you're pretty badly messed up right now, being there. But then, if you sometimes get time, please go to that inner circle park. It is one of the most beautiful places in Whitefield. So you will, I'm very sure if you're in Whitefield, you're already pretty busy in your life because most probably you're into IT. So, so on Sunday or Saturday evening, go back there. Maybe tomorrow it will be a nostalgic memory for you. Today's memory that you create will be the nostalgia for you tomorrow. If you don't create the memory today, there will be no nostalgic moments for tomorrow. So please go and create such memories for yourself, for your partners, for your kids. So being here, it's itself nostalgic for me. And I think that's where we should conclude with nostalgia. Otherwise, we will keep on going. This topic is such that there is no end to it. So, what I would tell is, yeah, we will, yeah, we couldn't touch upon many, many, many important nostalgic moments of our life. But we would really want you all, if you're listening and if you're in Belgaum, come, let's meet, let's catch up through this meet, and then we can discuss such stuffs more. If you have such memories, please do share. We would like to know. So, thank you. Good night.
Since you're listening this maybe in the morning, so it could be good, you know, it cannot really be good night. You could be listening to this at any point of time. So thank you for listening to us, and have a good day maybe. Chalo then. See you.